Yeah, I think I do. At least I voted for Norway being part of the EU in 1994. Didn't turn out that way, but I supported the project, and I think it probably would have been a good thing if we were part of the EU. Anyway, I think there's a big difference between the EU though and Europe. My grandfather, or both my grandfathers, were part of the war, one more than the other, but he was sent to Germany and he survived. And that was a formative part of my youth to learn about the war. And he was part of the resistance in Norway. And I guess it's the formative part of the EU as well, why the EU is there. I would say two things. So, one was of course the fall of the Berlin Wall. I watched it on television. Was probably many others would say the same. But then, more disturbingly, perhaps, was the war in Yugoslavia. Also watched it on television. I was far away. Eventually, I was sitting and reading the reports on a Coast Guard ship when I did my conscript service. And I got all the reports every day from what was happening on the ground. It was terrible to read. And eventually, it was probably a part of my decision to then take part in the S4 force going to Bosnia some years later. I think it was a disgrace that something like that could happen in the middle of Europe. And I wanted to do something about it. And that has formed me both with my initial experience going there as a liaison officer for NATO, but then, of course, that again affected me, in deciding that what I really wanted to do in my life is being a researcher on peace and conflict. Well, one thing is Brexit, of course, terrible, but I think this going back to see that we could have such a disgrace as Yugoslavia unfolding for so much time without being able to stop it would be the worst. Yeah. I don't have a particular moment that I could, think of at the moment. Yes. It's probably good for Norway that we're part of the common market, although we have to pay a pretty high price for it. For me personally, I'm sure there is some regulation that is a positive factor in my life that I don't really know of. I hope that by 2030, the Western Balkan countries are also part of the EU. They are, small islands now inside of the EU, and I hope that they will be accepted as members, because it's important for them and for stability in Europe.